Hello and welcome to my channel. As I told you last year, a few weeks ago, a week or two ago, I will want to make more videos, so I hope this is the first of many this year. And what it will be is I have this small locomotive, this one, and I have it here. I already took the motor out and some other parts off. I have had some problems last time I run it. It stopped and the motor was straining to move it, so it wasn't all too good. And as you saw, I already took it apart, and I even got the motor, the gearbox and the engine box. I got it all out apart. So let's take a look what we've got here. This is an old lens decoder, and let's unwrap it. I taped it in because I thought it might make contact. It was done in a few weeks after I bought this loco. And you could buy a decoder that fitted in here. You could directly plug it in here, and it was somewhere underneath the front of the loco. It went in here somewhere to the front, and it was a tiny decoder that doesn't have a lot of power. I had this one laying around, and normally you have some pins sticking out here where you can stick on these plug style things. You can just put that on there. What I want to do is, first of all, I want to fix this gearbox so that it runs smoothly, and I want to make some lights on this little locomotive. So that's what I'm gonna do. I want to make an interior light so that the driver has his a little bit of light when he's running the train in the dark, and I want to make a front and a rear lantern. How I'm gonna make them is I probably use a 308 shell casing, and I have a 45 ACP here, and that has the same diameter roughly of a 308 Winchester rifle cartridge, only this is a little bit different. I have a few of those. This is the only one I've got from this, but I have more of 308. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut them off somewhere here and drill the primer cap pocket out so that I have a nice big hole. And I put some LEDs in the back, and I make some kind of design on the lantern. How it's gonna look exactly, I don't know yet, but it will be a little bit my design. Just a little bit a big lantern, which they just put on somewhere on the front and hang at the rear. So I could also, maybe I'll even take it a little bit smaller, take a 9mm casing. But yeah, well, I don't know yet. I just have to see how big the hole is gonna be when I drill it out. I'm gonna do that at my work on the lathe, then I can easily drill it out. So we'll see. When you take one of these apart, these little gearboxes, and I don't know if it's with all of them, you can take it out of the train relatively easily. There are 1, 2 and 3 screws here. Then you can take the entire gearbox with wheels and all out of the locomotive. And of course you have to take, and I will get them, the drive rods and the pistons and so on and so on. You have to take the drivetrain off as well. So the slides and the you have to take that off. So you need to undo a few nuts and bolts that hook up into here. And here is a grease pump, and there's also one connected in. So yeah, you need to take some off, but then you can take the entire gearbox out. If you have the diesel kind, there is also with the same motor gearbox, there is a diesel locomotive. Well, that's more easily because you don't have the connection rods and so on, the sliding rods on there. When you've got it out, and you want to take the gearbox apart, there are these 5 screws. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And when you take them out, they're smaller. Then you can lift the bottom plate off and everything comes out. And then you can also reach the motor. Now, I don't know if you see it, but I saw it just in time to stop what I was doing and take a little bit of a look. There is a little ball bearing there at the end of the drive shaft of the motor. There is a little ball bearing. Same is on this side. There also is a little ball bearing. So when you take this motor out, you've got to be sure that you take the ball bearings out as well. They're not really bearings in the sense that they are... and of course you need to note the black side of the motor goes to the right side of the motor and the red side goes to the left side of the gearbox. But when you take the motor out to clean it out and stuff like that, also take the little ball bearings out. They're now stuck in grease, but when you clean it you can easily lose them, and I saw them just in time because I wanted to clean them. So I cleaned up, I'm cleaning up the wheels and the gears. This is the drive gear on the rear. This is the rear rear axle. It has longer studs here than the front one. The front one is more flat, is closer by, and this also has. I put the screws back in here, but you can see this has a square edge, and that's where the counter lever goes for the slide for the valve gearing. So that's in there, and they're connected with the drive rods, but also with the a tooth gear, a tooth belt that goes around here like so, and that also drives the both wheels. So but when I put it all together you will see how it goes together. Taking stuff apart is not that hard. Putting it back together is the hard part, because then you have to align everything up. And also when taking stuff apart you need to remember really well how it goes together. I will be cleaning this out further, taking apart the top side. That's something what I also will do, and in making the lights out of one of these shell casings. Not this one, this is what I'll keep for something else, but 9mm or 308. And please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.